Welcome to the channel. I'm Dani. Today I'll be sharing with you the top 10 red evening gowns at Miss Universe from 2017 till 2021. In 2021, Namibia decided to wear this beautiful, unique red evening gown. I think that it was beautiful for many reasons. One of the things that I liked was the neck of this evening gown. We've seen some similar styles before at Miss USA or Miss Universe, but this one was just so well executed. Now, something else that I really liked about this piece was subtle. There were mesh cutouts on the side, and these mesh cutouts, of course, are going to work to accentuate the body and the shape. But what I really liked is that they were cut out on the side, and then that continued down the leg of the gown, and it was beautiful. It was elongating. It kind of gave you the sexiness of having a slit without there actually being a slit, so it's this nice compromise. And then of course there was a beautiful cape, but I didn't think that the cape was overdone for this gown, and I thought it really just enhanced the look of this piece, and she just shined in it. In 2019, for the final competition, Thailand switched from a pink gown from preliminaries into a deep red gown. I thought that this gown was beautiful on her. I like to see the Thai inspiration in the dress. I would have preferred that the gown did not have a sheer pant leg underneath it. I don't think that it needed that element, but regardless of that, I still love this gown on her. It was so beautiful and so unique. If you're watching this episode because you're a pageant contestant, don't forget to check out Content Queen that is linked in the description. It's there to help you grow your presence on social media as a contestant or a title holder. Croatia's gown is simple, it's classic. I believe that this is a Sherry Hill couture gown, and if it's not, Sherry Hill has created some styles like this in the past in other colors. It's beautiful, it looks great on stage, but I will tell you this gown style is not easy to walk in. So if you are looking to wear a liquid beaded gown, be prepared to carry that gown. It's very heavy and you'll need lots of practice for it. She did a great job with this. In 2020, Aruba wore a sheer red gown, and the thing that I appreciate about this gown is that the beading looks incredibly delicate. There's also small pieces of beaded fringe throughout the arm. I thought it was beautifully fit to her. It perfectly complemented her shape. It really cinched in her waist. I absolutely love this gown, and I felt like it was one of the ones that was just overlooked throughout the competition just because 2020 was an incredibly competitive year. In 2019, Miss Indonesia, Frederica, wore a beautiful red and black gown. This gown was opulent in all the right ways. It was incredibly unique. With her hair pulled back, it looked perfectly styled. I loved this evening gown. Of course, it would have been a beautiful choice for finals, but I do believe that they did make the right choice by swapping out her gown for finals later. But this gown was stunning, and it's been one that I'll never forget. In 2020, Costa Rica changed her evening gown from the preliminary competition to the finals competition, and she decided on this beautiful red piece. There's a few things that I loved about this gown. I thought that first of all, she just looked like such a queen with this elegant overskirt, but I also didn't think that the overskirt was too big. I also really like how they scattered out the rhinestones across the chest on her and that there was a slight keyhole in it. I think that without the keyhole, it really would have changed the look of this gown, but the keyhole added this extra element of sexiness to it that I feel made it more appropriate for the Miss Universe competition, and she just looked stunning in it and rocked this gown. Comment gown if I've mentioned some of your favorites. Miss Thailand's gown in 2018 was gorgeous. There's a few things that I love about this gown. First of all, the structure of the bodice is perfectly fitted to her body. I also really appreciate the mesh side panels. This is something that you can add to a gown to create the illusion of curves or a more exaggerated figure, and I just think they made such great use of that with this gown. Now, the way that this gown is constructed with multiple panels throughout and all the way around the gown, and the way that they stoned it, it blows my mind. It just reminds me of quite a few couture pieces that I've seen, but I like that we're bringing true couture into pageantry because sometimes there is a difference, but right here we're seeing that great overlap. The bottom of this dress was beautiful. I think that it was a little bit short for her. I wish she would have wore a shorter heel, but it was so pretty because of the slits. It added this really unexpected element of movement. Miss Universe 2020, Andrea Mesa, happened to wear a stunning red evening gown. This dress was so beautiful on stage. I saw her compete in person and it was just really, really beautiful. And the way that she walked in this gown for me is really what put it over the edge. I like that during her final pose, she made sure to do something that was sort of over the shoulders so you could appreciate the drape that was around her arms and down the back of the dress. But one really nice thing about this piece are the small details of fringe. And I think that sometimes fringe can hide the body in an evening gown, but the fringe here was very subtle. So it added an element of movement to it. It allowed the lights to really pick up on the shine of the beads, but it didn't hide her. And that's why I think this one was so well executed, and it's why it's one of my favorites. Mexico came out in this gown, and it wasn't just the gown itself, but I have to say it was her performance. I attended this year at Miss Universe, and the audience gasped when they saw her enter and do a turn and remove the skirt of this gown. It was so well done. It was beautifully choreographed and prepared. I loved it, but the gown itself carried its own. It was just stunning. It wasn't too much. It was just the right amount of everything, the right amount of glam and red to complement her red lips. All of it was stunning. When it comes to red gowns, for me, Catriona Grade takes the cake. This lava gown was something extraordinary. It was created by Mac Tumang, and it was like nothing I've ever seen before. I was fortunate because I was able to attend Miss Universe 2018, and I'll never forget the moment that she stepped on stage in this gown during finals. My sister queen, Regina, Miss Wisconsin USA 2018, was sitting right beside me. She gasped and she said, "It looks like she's on fire." And she was right. It was gorgeous, it was glistening, it was bright, and it was extremely unique. And the way that Catriona carried this gown, the entire performance just elevated it. I loved it. I loved the meaning behind it, the originality. All of it came together in a perfect culmination that resulted in that Miss Universe crown. Personally, those are my favorite red gowns from recent years at Miss Universe. I would love to hear who wore yours. And if you have any requests for the channel, leave that in the description below. Thank you so much for watching the episode, and I hope that you're gonna come back for lots more, as well as share the channel with your friends.